This is the Happiness Podcast Project. I am Grover Reese.
And I'm Scotty.
And we have an unusual occurrence today.
What's the unusual occurrence?
We have guests.
What? Stop touching that.
Oh, no.
We told you the one rule. We already went over this.
Christ.
Jesus.
Monkey throwing feces. Monkey throwing feces.
You had one job.
One job. I fucked it up already.
So,
God.
apparently these,
See, that's why no one ever comes on our show. Yeah. Just abuse them all they get
what
on.
the fuck? First of all, your hat looks like a used condom.
I repurposed it. It's for recycling. Wow. You got to upcycle.
Yeah, haven't you heard recycle, reduce, reuse?
This
It was one of
This is the same.
going green to
Grover, you need to close the loop, buddy.
close the loop. You could close these loops. Okay, so we have the Fullsterkur Barbell Club ownership in the house. So why don't you gentlemen introduce yourselves?
I'm Brian Chow. I'm one of the owners.
I'm Aaron Malinsky, also an owner.
Wait. Weren't you an owner of another gym?
I was an owner of another
Do you
gym.
have two gyms?
Yeah.
What's going on?
One now defunct.
Defunct.
Yeah.
I thought you were collecting gyms.
I was.
Like
I was kind of
Pokemon?
like those guys in the sneaker game.
Yeah.
You know?
You like collect them.
Brokering.
What are you
But
the
not
Thanos
use
of the
them.
gym world?
Yeah, a little bit.
I got the power jam.
I've got the freaking gauntlet in my
Got
office.
the gauntlet.
Yeah.
So,
The Infinity Stone and everything.
so there's something that's going to be on the mind of all 4.5 watchers of this podcast.
So we lost subscribers.
Hey, 3. What is a Fullsterkur?
Ooh, good question. You want to tackle that one, Brian?
Sure, I'll take it. So Fullsterkur translates to full strong in Icelandic. We got inspired by this name because there's a story in Iceland about there were 4 stones on a beach that were used to hire fishing crews. And so the 4 stones on this beach, they had different weights. The heaviest one being Fullsterkur, which is full strong. Then halfsterkur was the next one down. That's half strong. Then it was weakling. And and then the lightest stone was called useless. And so in order to get hired for this fishing crew, you needed to lift at least the weakling stone.
Exactly.
And you got paid, let's say that's the basic wages. And then if you lifted the one up from that halfsterkur, you got paid a little bit more. And if you were full strong, lifted the heaviest one, you got paid the most. So get strong, get paid.
So what's the estimated weight of each of these stones?
Fullsterkur is a stone that's at least 341 pounds.
41.
341. It's very
41.
precise because it's converted from kilos. Yeah.
Okay. And then what about the other sizes? What's useless?
Useless. Oh man, off the top of my
Talks about
head,
useless.
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 I think it's like something like 50
pounds, I think.
50 pounds or
I think it's
something
50.
like that. Yeah.
50 pounds?
Yeah. Something dumb.
You gotta lift at least over 100.
What's the fire academy or the police academy? Where they lift a dummy and stuff? How much is that at least?
250 pounds.
100.
I think it's like an average male, so it's like around 170.
It's an average male in Texas, so it's like 940 pounds. No,
Not really.
no, I actually think it's like 170, 175.
It's like, it's right around there.
But you have to drag it up a bunch of stairs.
And that's also dead weight, though. It's a little different than
And
a
you
stone.
did that. You did that, right? You
I did.
You were a volunteer fireman or a fireman, or what did you do before?
Volunteer fireman, went through firefighter academy and EMT school.
Did you even mention this in the last? This
I
is
don't know.
SparkCore?
I think we did.
Maybe.
So let's
I don't
get
remember.
the rabbit out of the bag.
Okay.
Our second or third podcast was called "This Is
It's
Spartacore,"
yeah.
and Aaron Malinsky came in when he was owner of Spartacore Performance Center.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is now defunct,
Yes.
and this is now Fullsterkur
It is.
Barbell Club. So before we get into like what's going on with Fullsterkur right now, I want to get some background of the new guy, the F&G.
Wait. What's
Wait,
the
David's here?
F&G? What's the abbreviation for that?
Fucking new guy, and that's
Okay.
Brian Chow.
That guy.
Yeah,
This guy
Yes,
right
this
here.
guy.
Right here? Yeah.
yeah. And I want to give a shout out to Brian for breaking down the stupid stereotypes that everyone have that Asians can't be strong and masculine.
No.
Nah, this motherfucker owns a gym. And every now and again, he just walks by Aaron and slaps him right on the ass to sexually harass him. And so I'm just happy that's happening.
And
It's the manliest thing you can do.
Yeah. So tell us a little background about yourself. Where were you born? What do you do? And what the hell made you want to be a business owner?
Oh, let's see. I was born in Redwood City, and but I moved around a lot as a kid.
Hold on, Redwood City, California?
California, that's
Yeah.
correct. Where we are doing our podcast right now.
Right.
You're not supposed to tell people that.
Oh, we're not?
No,
We're
no.
all
Well,
gonna
now
die
people
now.
are going to be able to find you.
We're gonna die.
We're all going to die. Shit, we're all going to
My
die.
car's really going to blow up.
We have this in public record now. on
So
our
much
Facebook
hate
page.
coming our direction right now.
You know, they're gonna come find us.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
guys are
know.
right next door. So
Yeah.
it's just,
I know. They'll find us, too, I guess.
Yeah. So you
Brian,
said,
take down the signs. Take
Oh,
down
no.
the signs.
I said take down the signs, not your pants. So Redwood City, you moved
Redwood
around
City,
a lot.
moved
so
around, grew up in the Bay Area, also Las Vegas, and then finished up high school in LA. Moved back up here for art school in San Francisco, went to Academy of Art. Yes, they own everything in the city pretty much.
Yeah, they have a lot of
They
campuses.
own
Oh, really?
everything.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Okay.
They have so much real estate in the city. Anyways, then I moved to Belgium for more art school. It was for fashion design actually, so really different from gym ownership.
Yeah, I would say, huh?
Very different. So I was in Belgium for 4 years and in Antwerp, and then moved to Paris, France for another 4 years before coming back here.
So you speak German and French, or
Just French.
just French?
Yeah,
Wow.
just French, just the romance language.
Was it like language immersion when you were there? That's how you picked it up, or did you know a little bit beforehand?
No, nothing beforehand. And when I went to Belgium, actually, my school was in Flemish, which is a dialect of Dutch. So I would just sit in my classes where they were teaching in Dutch, and just sit there and not understand anything. And and the teachers, because we had like maybe 5 in these big lecture halls, we had about 5 to 10 international students every year. So the teacher would just say, for all of my international non-Dutch speaking students, just come up to me after class, after the lecture, and I'll give you like a little summary of what we talked about. But I thought that was really useless, because you'd go up and you'd have like a 2-hour lecture, and then he'd be like, oh yeah, so we talked about, the French Revolution, blah, blah, blah.
Give you like
And-
7 minutes.
Yeah, it's like not even 7 minutes. It's like a couple minutes, and you're like, oh great, I'll pass the exam. Thank you.
So this is very important. It's great to know that we're not the only country who treats immigrants like shit. That's right, America. You are not alone.
Yeah. And then when I moved to Paris, France, that's when I had to start learning French. I definitely got by in Belgium speaking English. It's both a blessing and a curse, I guess.
But the French don't give a fuck.
Yeah, in France you've got to speak the language for sure.
Yeah.
Because in France, I do speak English, but was it more of
I guess it's gotten a lot better. When I moved there, I'd say any visit I had before, that it was people were more reluctant to speak English, even if they were capable of doing it. And then just with, I don't know, the world opening up more, like comparing the early 2000s to then the 2010s, definitely in the 2010s, people were realizing, well, everything's connected. You got to work with everybody.
Right. Right. So, Aaron, just refresh us on your background.
So I have done just about every trade known to man.
Let's start at the beginning. Tell us where you were born.
Forest Grove, Oregon.
Population like 7.
I'm like 2.
there's a punchline coming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a punchline.
2. No, because you said there was only 2 black people there. So
I knew it. He was going right for that one.
yeah.
Right in your back pocket.
Yeah. So, where in Oregon again?
I grew up in a place called Canby, Oregon, which is
Oregon.
larger
Which had
than
5
where I was born. Yeah.
Excellent. And so, what got you into like how did you go? Because you said earlier you were a fireman, an EMT,
Yeah.
and a whole bunch of other stuff. So tell us about all of your jobs and what brought you to Fullsterkur.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, my parents were very much of the belief that you just you got like a manual labor job and you're not going to like it. And you just do that to get by. And that's how life is. And I never really liked that message. So, but I didn't really have any other options. So I ended up, I was a heavy machinery mechanic for a while. I washed mid-rise windows. I've done just about every construction job known to man. And I realized I was really good at all those jobs because I was pretty strong, but I also really hated those jobs because they paid really crappy and they were really dangerous. Yeah. And that's when I got into exercising and realized that I really liked to work out and train with weights. But I didn't really see a very lucrative industry at the time, at least, trying to go into fitness.
Were you doing that in Oregon or were you doing that over here?
Oregon.
Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
So you started fitness in Oregon, but it just wasn't.
Yeah, I was just working out. I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did eventually become a trainer in Oregon, and then left that because at the time, again, it didn't really pay very well. And then I got, another heavy machinery mechanic job to support my family. And that's when I actually moved to California, and continued working as a mechanic, while also, at night training people in their homes.
Okay.
Because here and during that time, it was a lot better, a lot easier to make money in the industry. A lot more people here are more health conscious. People care how they look. So, and people have money here. So,
and motherfuckers got money. That's
definitely helps.
So, so what brought you to thinking or just having a fathom of an idea that Fullsterkur was the way to take the direction of any company? And so I guess before asking that question, we should really break down what a barbell club is. And so anyone of you guys just shoot in there and tell us what's up.
Well, a barbell club can either it's a specialized training facility for either Olympic weightlifting or powerlifting. Has a lot of specialized equipment that you wouldn't find in your typical commercial gym.
So give me an example of something you wouldn't find in your typical commercial gym that you have that you have at Fullsterkur.
We can start with the barbells.
Yeah.
That's in the name. At your typical commercial gym, you might just find one type of barbell that's basically used for everything.
Yeah.
Whether you bench, squat, deadlift, or use it for anything else. And we have what's called a power bar. Power bars are used for bench and squat. There's a specific deadlift bar that's used just to deadlift. We have also a bar that's just for squatting. Then there are some specialty bars like safety squat bars, trap bars, and each one has its own purpose. And it I don't know.
Yeah, they're basically just specialized pieces of equipment that lend themselves to you being able to lift the maximum amount of weight on them.
So they don't bend like the ones in 24-hour fitness.
It depends.
Like
some
Depends
bend
some.
more and some bend less.
which is actually a good thing then.
Right.
Yeah.
Bending is a good thing. So many filthy jokes came to mind that I'm just letting go because we're actually being serious. So, is powerlifting for everyone? Like, I know there's a 61-year-old lady who powerlifts there or who uses your facility. I guess is your facility for everyone? Because I know there's like older people. I know like few folks are in their 50s, and then I know there's some really young guys, like 19, 20-year-old guys who are really killing
They're
it.
pushing that way.
I mean, I think what we'd both say is that no, we're not for everyone, intentionally. And a big part of us actually starting
Discrimination.
Fullsterkur, strategic discrimination.
Yeah.
No. a big part of us starting this project and actually shutting down the old gym, Spartacore, was that we felt we needed a greater focus on a very specific niche instead of attempting to appeal to everybody.
Because you had like a lot of different classes that didn't align with the intensity of the gym.
And in my opinion, you know, if you try to appeal to everybody, you're not really going to appeal to anybody.
Right.
And you've already got huge businesses out there. All of the big box gyms that everybody knows, they're already winning that game. They've already done it. And for us to even attempt to try to break into that market is ridiculous to me.
Plus, I think it's all right. So I've been to, you know, both gyms because I just come and hang out and say horrible things and leave, and that's my role in the gym. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed. Anybody need a spot?
Are you squatting today?
Hey, those pants look excellent on you. What did I say? But what I noticed is that it's more of an authentic vibe now. It's more. It seems like when I walk in, I mean, people are still nice. You know, there's a lot more people. I say there's a lot of new people there that I haven't seen every time I go into the gym.
There's camaraderie.
Someone new. But people are kind of like they're all on the same page of what they're doing, and I think that, you know, like coaching, has had some real success stories.
Yeah,
and just like changing people's lives still, but in a positive direction. So. Was that the intention of just like kind of narrowing down and drilling down to who you were doing?
Wow.
I think that
was really
directed at Brian.
Are you even trying, bro? So was that thing with just drilling down and focusing on a certain clientele?
So when it was a Spartacore, we had what was it, like 6 or 7 people that were powerlifting.
Yeah.
And then alongside there were a lot of other activities, different fitness categories going on in the same space. And when we wanted to rebrand it and go in the direction that we wanted, which was into powerlifting, strength sports, basically, we had to look at the facility and say, okay, well, we can only put this much equipment in there, and you can only fit this amount of people in it. So if we stick with our like group classes and all of that, then this takes up a certain amount of space in the gym, and then you have all of the strength athletes, and you can only fit, say, 4 or 5 people around the racks, and then it would feel crowded. It would be crowded, and plus the two groups wouldn't vibe with each other because one wants like the music, group fitness, and all of that, and a certain vibe, and another one wants to concentrate, wants different music, wants to it's just it's just different rhythms, you know. Mm-hmm. And
that's a good way to put it. Different rhythms.
Different rhythms, and then so what we thought would work best was to focus on one group and one type of training, whether it's powerlifting or bodybuilding. These still work within the same building, but some of the other things that didn't work, we wanted to pull it out. That way, the space could be used most efficiently. And like you said, a lot of the members get along with each other and all that, and you have this atmosphere when you walk in. But it's also because everyone's doing something similar. They can understand each other and their sport. A lot of the reasons why these members are coming and joining us is because, and leaving their commercial gyms, is because when you go to your commercial gym, you have, say you're trying to use a rack, and you've got a whole line of people waiting for Zumba class, and they're just hanging out, like there's nowhere to stand, and they're just kind of taking up space, or other people who are doing other types of training and using your equipment that should be for squatting, and they're using it improperly. They're just using it improperly, and you feel like, oh, that's not fair. I would use this for what it's for, but I got to wait for somebody who's incorrectly.
So basically, you just
Grover?
Yeah.
I got to change that battery because that thing's going out.
Uh-oh. Yeah. And we will be taking a happiness podcast
so
pause.
sorry. So The audio still stay on.
So this is the best part with the audio's on because we just talk a bunch of shit and use it as outtakes.
Great.
Dude, you guys are doing great, and nobody even knows that you like fingers in your ass. Oh, you know. So
I thought I said that from the very start.
that was the first thing you said.
Yeah.
So how many knuckles do you like, Aaron?
All of them.
Jesus Christ.
Is there any other answer for that?
Uncle Fister. How about yourself, Brian? Do you like
I'm working on it. I'm
working?
I got the third one in.
The third one, just stretching yourself out.
Yeah, I'm
So
working on it.
weak.
Yeah.
I just started.
You're so weak.
Look, I expect you to go full Sturker.
Yeah. Yeah, how can you come on here and talk about Fullsterkur when you
Jesus.
3 knuckles? Shameful.
Nasty.
Yeah.
You nasty bastard, only putting 3 knuckles.
What are you doing with the other 2 knuckles?
Yeah. So
Eric, go ahead.
and we are back with the Happiness Podcast Project. We had a typical happiness situation where we had to change some fucking batteries.
Yep.
But what I was saying before we left, I believe, is that it's absolutely interesting to see that like the new membership that's there. Folks seem to be everyone talks to each other. First of all, there is no different like, you know, there aren't people who just come in and do one thing or just come in and do other thing. Like everybody kind of uses the machines together. I see that you have a whole lot more female members, which, you know, that I think that has to be pretty hard because
For a powerlifting gym, too.
yeah, and I would say at
Female
least like
powerlifters.
4 or 5 that I've seen.
There's one inside when I came in
Yeah.
to do a little quick
Yeah,
shot.
and they're beasts too. By the way,
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't ever put myself in a situation where I'm like, oh well, she's good for a girl because we all know that that's stupid, right?
Yeah.
We all know that saying, oh, this person's oh, she's good for a girl. No. Let's just be real. People go into it and do things in their own intensity and they maximize their self potential. However, and when you're in an environment where people are slamming down weights and like, you know, playing death metal or like literally the music you hear there is like
My favorite.
death metal or like hip hop, Rodney. And you're going back and forth, but you know, it's pretty cool. You still have a little performance area in the back where like people,
Yeah, just a little one.
but
It's
different
more
now.
it's more of a general purpose,
Right.
like warming up, stretching area, but it also doubles as our strongman area.
Yeah.
So pushing yokes,
Yeah,
picking
push-
up heavy sandbags.
Yeah. Push the yoke, sandbags, still got the medicine balls,
Yeah.
which like I love doing ball slams to warm up. And sometimes like I could just go in there and do ball slams and that's all I have time to do before I do something, but it still really kind of warms up my back before I kick. When I come to the gym and I do some kicking, like my back will be ripped up now if I don't warm up, and it's hard to warm your back up. You know, but you know, ball slams will do that for you, side slams and you know that stuff.
Wait, so Brian, I got to ask, since I know you personally, that
Yeah.
you also do competitive physique competitions. Is that part of the gym too, or is it mainly strictly a powerlifting gym?
No, it is part of the gym as well. It's just that right now in our membership base, we have a few other competitors for physique competitors, but it's just not the majority of the gym at the moment. But we definitely have everything you need in order to do it. I myself use the space to work on posing and everything before a show. I also encourage the other physique competitors to use it and pose, flex, everything you need to work on your routines. So everything is there for it. But for the moment, it's definitely powerlifting that is the majority population.
Majority population. But I think that, you know, some of the people that you've coached, I think, nutritionally, Katie, who was on our podcast before.
I didn't do it nutritionally.
You didn't do it. What did you do with her?
I did all of her strength programming.
All of her strength programming.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I just programmed for her, made it individualized to her division as she was competing in bikini. So I wanted to make sure that we preserved muscle where it was needed. It was during a contest prep phase. I've already trained her before that as a personal trainer. And so we've built up a lot, but also there's a large period of time where I was no longer training her, but she has built up, you know, pretty good training ethic and everything. So she really put in a lot of work. And by the time we started on contest prep, I thought she was ready. She had the physique that could win.
Yeah,
And she did win.
She
won the
did win.
novice,
Yeah, she won true novice. Yeah.
and how? So she won true novice.
Yes. And then she placed third place in open and novice class. Yeah.
We Kelsey, he's still like in quarantine. He's like, I'm ready when you guys are.
So also now let's go into your services.
Yeah.
So the gym right now is basically a powerlifting gym.
Yeah.
You have individualized services and personal training that have specialize in physique competitions and even nutrition too.
Yeah.
And
I
nutrition too?
also do nutrition. Yeah.
And then your general personal training is, what does that entail?
A lot of what I do is rehab.
Rehab.
People that come see me with injuries, and I try to.
First, I thought you meant drug addicts.
Yeah.
I'll be there tomorrow.
No, just
Working out does help you keep away from the drugs. So.
Yep.
That's true.
especially like post catastrophic injury, like ACLs or just people with general back pain. There's a lot of that around here. So that's more what my personal training.
Would that be like sports therapy, or can you call it that, or no?
No, not really, because it's not really athletes that I'm dealing with that. It's more just general.
Oh, that's
population
actually even
people.
good. That's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know people who I've sent to you before, like Scott.
Yeah. I hurt myself quite often.
Yeah. I think there was a stretching section, or you guys did whatever.
We
you
did
guys
some crazy stretches where basically he told me that these stretches were taught by some other YouTuber, but it's been patented or something like that. And he's like,
It's not by a YouTuber. He's a French osteopath, and he's just very protective
it's
of
like,
his.
because the art form itself, it's I don't know how'd you put it. It was very complex and doesn't want to be muddied by other people to reproduce his stretching routine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Plus, you don't want nobody ripping them off.
exactly. He's got to get that money.
That paper.
I was trying to dance around that, but
So let's break down some particulars
That's
of
what it
your,
comes down to.
let's break down some particulars of your business, because I want everybody, if you're into powerlifting and you're in the Bay Area, there's a unique opportunity that you could come check out the gym on Saturdays from 12 to 3. There's like an open gym available for folks who maybe Eric Paulson sending me funny stuff. maybe if they're Eric Paulson really distracted me with it. But maybe if they go from gym to gym, which is common with powerlifters, and they want to stop in and like feel the vibe, they can do that from 12 to 3 every Saturday. Is that correct?
Yes.
And if they do decide that they like the gym, is there anything you want to tell people, any specials, or like how much it costs, or anything like that you want people to know, or you just?
Yeah, I mean, we try to keep it really basic. We don't operate like a normal gym where they'll charge you initiation fees and cancellation fees, and there's always a different deal that's going on that month. We don't do any of that. We have everybody pay the same amount, and keep it simple. You get 24-hour access to the gym. You get programming that comes with your membership that you don't pay extra for, in addition to having access to both of us for any kinds of questions or just kind of on-the-spot coaching.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like the personal training in a sense is built into
Kind
Well,
of.
the
it's
service
not
of the
like
gym.
personal training. You get to like reserve an hour with us, but basically you just pick our brain if you're in the gym and we're around and we're not with a client.
I don't really see that like at 24-hour fit, and maybe people they do, but it's not as I don't see the personal trainers going around and trying to teach people usually.
But in our gym, the other thing that I really love is that the way we're growing the community has been very intentionally that we're trying to get all of our experienced members to also help coach people. That way people are interacting with each other more. You've got more of a tight community. It's more fun for me personally. And I like seeing other guys coaching guys. It's just cool to watch them grow, not only as a coach, but also as a lifter.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys something, and this is something I've watched all of your incarnations from like having like I think I was at Spartacore, I was like member number 3.
Yeah, something like that.
I was like, sign me up. What is it about? I don't know, but I want to support.
Yeah.
But and I want to say this before I say anything. My shoulder was jacked up about 4 months ago to the point where I could not throw a jab and I could not do a push-up. And Aaron gave me advice, and he just told me to do something over and over again, and my shoulder is absolutely better. You know, I had to rest, of course, because rest is usually the best medicine. But the strengthening conditions I did, like yesterday, I ripped off 30 push-ups, like deep push-ups, and I was like, man, I haven't been able to do that forever. So thank you for that. I'll never say thank you again in public, so just enjoy it.
I'm taking that one. Can you send me a copy of that?
But also, I've seen the membership grow from like, I go there and I see the same 6 people, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know how they're going to make it. To now, there's people I don't know, and there's a lot of members, and it's flourishing, and like,
interacting and encouraging
yeah,
each other,
and
pushing each other.
and it's like, I see some young guys who are going to compete. I see, you know, like ladies in there. I see like older folks, and one thing I like is that the people who were there before are still there.
Yeah.
And so the people who wanted to be there are still there, but you've kind of built something around them. And I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Our originals, that was another big piece of transitioning over, is our originals, the people that supported us from the very beginning. We've done everything we can to show those people that we're really grateful for their support. And I don't think a lot of businesses really focus on the people that they already have in general. They don't really give.
I can tell you they don't. I can tell you that businesses like oh, I think the cleaner just came in. But I can tell you that if you're, she coming with them heels clicking. But I can tell you that if you are a member of any organization, they don't care if you've been there a long time. And so you folks caring have been there a long time. That's the magic of a small business. That's the magic of going to some place. So that's the difference between going to like maybe a big chain, right, where they don't really care about you and you're just a number, and going to Sparta, going to a place like Fullsterkur.
Come on, man.
Yo, going to a place like Fullsterkur or Fullsterkur, where they actually care. And so that's awesome. So
very knowledgeable trainers and a strong community built around something that everyone's passionate about. And I only see it expanding.
Yeah,
There's something I want to say about like just I guess our business model that's I guess different from other commercial gyms is that we spend a lot of time thinking about how to retain members and not just sell memberships and just people like sell it and expect them like, well, they're never going to come in. They just wanted a gym membership. Great. You know, like I really want to see people who come in and train hard. That motivates me.
Right.
I want people to really use the space to its full potential. So I like to follow up with people who join and, you know, see them progress. If they start falling off, I want to talk to them and want to, you know,
be personalized.
And basically talk to them and see what's going on. Is there something, you know, like that? It's hard to keep training because, you know, you hear when they join, a lot of people who join who haven't set something in stone and like a hard routine that they've been training for years, and people who come in and are like, you know what, I love powerlifting or I love bodybuilding. I want to start it. I don't know anything about it. And then sometimes we just fall off. And
wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's great because like
so I'm sorry I haven't been there since I've been hella busy, but I swear I'll send
you messages to check in on you.
But there's definitely a lot of similarities between like doing media. YouTube is about the audience retention, and you're talking about membership retention, and also providing the value, the service, the information to keep the members happy, satisfied with the product that you're giving, which is the space of the gym and the services that you are giving, as well as your personalities of coaching them or giving them answers to whatever information that they need to improve their own physical transformations, lifting abilities, actualizing their potential or what have you. Like, I think it's that you truly, both of you guys really made that spot into what it is, and it feels like a brand now. It feels like it's
that's one thing. Yeah. It does feel. And I remember when they told me Fullsterkur, I was making fun of the name. And then I started saying the name, and I was like, Fullsterkur! And I'm like, I love the name, right? So I'm going to say absolutely, like to me, like, you know, Scott just broke down the whole technical stuff. To me, when I go in there, it feels cool. It feels right. Like you know, music's playing, this dude slamming weights over here. I can go do my ball slams, chalk and dust. But also, one thing I like, I can always get to the machine I want. I don't know what it is. Like I've been there, it's been like 25 people, 30 people in a small space. I'm like, oh man, I can always do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I think the layout's really good. I think everybody in Redwood City, if you're interested in it and you're really interested in this lane, because this is a niche. This isn't some come and do 15 jumping jacks in the corner. This is some like come in and get down. You should look up Aaron Maliski and Brian Chow at Fullsterkur.
Oh, another thing, I said dust, I meant chalk dust. What I meant is that you guys also, or to add on, is that you guys keep the gym immaculate and clean too. That is one of the biggest things, is keeping it sanitary, especially with the outbreak we're having
Brian's
around
crazy.
here.
I am totally crazy.
Most of our conversations about the gym when we're in meetings together is about what is the experience like for the gym members? How can we make that better? How are people actually using the space, and how can we, not stop people from doing a purpose-built thing? Obviously, if somebody's doing something ridiculous, I'm gonna smack them around a little bit verbally. But
Why did you look at me?
but we really want to see how are people using it, and then we try our best to make this product exactly what our users want.
Mm-hmm. And then one last thing. So the Fullsterkur competition in Iceland.
Yes.
What's happening with that?
Yeah, when are you going to lift it?
Oh, that's our own little challenge, right?
Yeah,
So
it's not an actual competition.
No.
You're just gonna go lift this. And I looked at the stone, by the way. The stone is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
So
The
it's
basis of their name.
Yeah. So
When we go over there.
when we were coming up with a name for the rebranding, and then we thought of this name, we thought, well, wouldn't it be stupid that we named it this, but like have never been to Iceland and like basically
Never picked up the stone.
never picked up the stone. So we're taking it upon ourselves to make a trip, go to Iceland, be humble, and try to lift a couple stones.
I'm not trying, Brian.
No, you're doing.
I am trying.
We're doing.
I'm trying.
Brian, we're not changing the name, so you better lift the goddamn
We
stone.
gotta lift the stone. So I gotta lift the stone. I'll make a miracle happen.
It's going to be Fullsterkur and Brian.
And Brian, who can't lift the Fullsterkur stone. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
well, guys. If that's it, I only got one thing to say.
Mhm.
Can you handle the tip?
Always. Brian always helps me with that.
That's what business partners do.
So any last words or anything that you guys, not last words, but last thoughts?
Last words.
That's words before we get executed.
I got one major. We do support athletes that want to compete. So we sponsor anybody who's really strong and wants to compete in the sport of powerlifting. And we are also building our
Bodybuilding.
team.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you're serious,
I'm in the bodybuilding team, dude.
come talk to us.
Yep.
And, once we get to know people and see if they actually represent us well, then we like to support people in their endeavors.
That's absolutely awesome.
Awesome.
I wish you gentlemen the best of luck. I know that business is really, really on the upswing, which is awesome. And come back and see us again. Every time you have anything, come back and check in with us. Aaron, come and be the third wheel again.
Anytime you want.
Yeah, buddy.
And
We got to use their studio space too.
yeah. And then maybe our next one we'll shoot at the Stirk.
The Starker.
The Stirk.
All right.
All right. This is the Happiness Podcast.
Hold up, bro.
Jesus. I be trying to sign off.
Trying to close it out and you shut them down. Come on.
I'm trying to.
Well, what do we got to ask the people out here to do for us?
Oh. All right, folks. So how many of you folks are into making yourselves better? Let's ask a question. How many of you folks are into powerlifting or some type of fitness?
Stop using that word.
Or anything that makes you better. And what does it take to do it? Because I think it takes a lot of determination. Let me know if it doesn't.
All right. And so make sure you like and subscribe.
On the YouTube Rooney,
Hit that bell for all of our latest videos.
notified.
And can you handle the tip?
All in your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Happiness Podcast. I'm Grover.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn. I'm Scotty.
This motherfucker right here, boy. Leave your comments and like and subscribe on YouTube. Booty in your face. We found true happiness